Hello, beloved listeners, and welcome to Sneeple at the Movies, film criticism by people who actually like film. Join us as we dive into movies we love, movies we respect, and movies we wish we could unsee. From the kids who have no clue how they became Mission Impossible guys, it's Sneeple at the Movies. I'm Helena.
I'm Ezra.
And I'm Maddie. Gang, we haven't recorded in, I think, over a month.
Correct.
And a lot has happened. It's like 90-something in Portland right now.
I was like, yeah, I can't even complain. It's like 10 degrees hotter in Portland than it is in Bellingham, and I'm sitting in the dark with my blackout shades done.
Right now, it is, in fact, well, now it's 87, but earlier in the day it was like 94 degrees.
Yeah. And some of you may be thinking, that's not that hot, but when you are in a room with a closed door and no air conditioning at all, except for the window you've left open, which I apologize if there's a little extra sound, but if I don't leave this window open, I'll die. And then a singular fan, which is on the opposite side of the room, so it doesn't get picked up by the mic, it starts to feel much hotter.
I turned my fan off because I don't have a good place to move it to, and I was like, all right, the countdown starts now.
Yeah. So, it's a little wild and woolly today. At
least we get to spend a bunch of time talking about somebody dumping Tom Cruise into the Arctic Ocean, so maybe that'll make us feel better.
They did what? That's crazy.
Fantasize about being dumped in the Arctic Ocean and probably getting shocked and dying.
Yeah,
well, actually, not in the last part. I don't think I want that last part.
Let's not.
But a nice pool would be nice. Anyway, let's sleep, huh?
Sure.
Gosh, it's been a minute. I rewatched Dead Reckoning before I saw The Final Reckoning on opening weekend, which tells you how long it's been. I watched the 2017 Dark Tower movie, which was just as bad as everyone told me. And I should have believed them. This is maybe the only time you'll hear me say this. Don't bother. You don't have to watch it. It's not worth your time.
This is not a trust but verify. This is just a trust us.
Yeah, there's very few movies in this world where I will say don't bother. That's one of them. I saw Suspiria, the 1977 one, saw that in the theater, which was a delight. I rewatched The Fog because I got a new TV that's not from like 2005, and I wanted to see what it looks like to be in the future, and I was like, wow, they have invented color since 2005.
They have, yeah.
Rewatched Friday the 13th for Friday the 13th. Rewatched I Know What You Did Last Summer with someone who hasn't seen it before, which is fun, and I was like, yippee, it's summer finally. And I finally am making my way through the Alien movies. I've already seen Alien previously, but I done a double feature of Aliens and Alien to the Third Power. And had an absolute blast. Everyone told me that Alien 3 was really just a horrible movie, and I was like, well, it's not a great Alien movie, I think, but I think it's a fun sci-fi movie. And the ending made me laugh. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, yes. I mean, I think that it definitely has a reputation of being a certain way that I think was because of all of the, like, conflict that David Fincher encountered when he was making that movie, and he, like there's like the director's cut, and then there's the theatrical cut, and I can't remember which one is better.
I don't remember even which one I watched.
Yeah, but I rewatched that recently for my Alien versus Predator versus Kramer project, and I was like, this is not really as bad as I was like told to think. Like, it has its issues for sure, but I think it's a pretty good movie.
I think it's fun. I had a good time.
It's bleak as fuck, but yeah.
Yeah, totally. And it's kind of odd in comparison to the other ones, but I had a blast. And I'm excited to watch the rest. I was kind of I'm watching them with Johnny, who made our music. Or I was watching those two, and he was like, yeah, maybe we could like watch some of the good ones next time, like some of the better ones. Though I think Aliens is his favorite. And I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, I'll watch all of them. I don't care. I don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to convince me by making me watch the other good ones. I'll just keep watching the ones people think are bad. I don't know. This is not a Dark Tower situation. I'm having fun.
Yeah, because like, even Resurrections, which I think is next for you, is like... So. I still really enjoy that movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's a good film, but it's definitely a movie.
Yeah. I'll also say that I fall on this because the argument is Alien or Aliens the better one? What's your favorite? And I think Alien is still my favorite of the two, but I did very much enjoy Aliens.
Yes.
I rewatched the Friday the 13th episode of Psych after I watched Friday the 13th because that's how I do. I've turned 32. That was exciting for me.
Nice. Very good.
And I saw My Chemical Romance in Seattle this past weekend. I bring it up because the first half, or the first, hour and a half was kind of like watching a weird piece of performance art that I really enjoyed, but I was like, this is one of those concerts where it's more than just watching dudes play music. It was very interesting. People exploded. It was crazy. I won't say much more because I've been informed by my Bandom friends that concert spoilers are a thing. So if that's a thing for you, I won't say. I shall keep my peace. But it was a very fun show, and I really quite liked it a lot. Damn, that My Chemical Romance. They can put on a show. That's me.
Shall I?
Sure, go ahead. I mean, unless you want me to go first, I really don't care.
No, I'm good. I watched Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. What? I rewatched Some Like It Hot. I watched Final Destination 3. Final Destination, the fourth Final Destination movie, Final Destination 5. Later down the line there, I also rewatched the first Final Destination 2, and I also watched Final Destination Bloodlines. I was having
the
a
whole
time.
Bitch, huh?
Don't ask. Yeah, I was really enjoying myself. Is what I was doing. God damn it. Final Destination Bloodlines, incidentally, good film. I rewatched Return of the King and sobbed like a little bitch. I watched The Librarian, Quest for the Spear. Whew, that's certainly a film that has Noah Wyle and Kyle MacLachlan in it.
True. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. He's the bad guy in it, and
good for him.
I have many inappropriate things to say about him in that movie, so I shan't. I shall move on. I wanted to see the movie 28 Years Later, so I watched 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, which I didn't really need to do because it's not as if they're you can kind of figure out what happens.
Yeah.
But I wanted to, just for that. 28 Days Later, very good film.
It is.
28 Weeks Later, not as good. 28 Years Later, really, really enjoyed that. Saw that last week in the theater by myself at a matinee, and I was like, goddamn, okay, great Ralph Fiennes performance, great Jodie Comer performance. I think it looks crazy, so I had a good time.
I'm excited.
It's good. I definitely recommend it. I finished rewatching Twin Peaks: The Return, which counts as a film. I watched The Accountant 2, which is actually technically The Accountant Squared. I didn't realize that when I watched it, and I looked at the title on Letterboxd, and I was like, are you shitting me? Because that doesn't make any sense. It's like Alien to the Third Power or Alien Cubed. I'm like, it's not like there's an alien to the third power in it. It's not like the same with Aliens, where there's multiple aliens.
There's not 4 accountants in The Accountant.
There's not. No, there's not. There's in fact only one accountant still. There's just him and his brother's here.
Is his brother not also an accountant? I just kind of assumed, I guess.
His brother is not an accountant.
Well, that's egg on my face.
Is because God, do I want to get into the accountant multiverse? No. No, his brother is also not multiverse maybe, unless you count Dogma as being part of the accountant multiverse, which you could. Okay. No, his brother's also a hitman like him. So that's the thing that they have in common. But he's he's got different methods. I don't know. I had a good time. It's a very, very silly franchise. I hope they make like 10 more of these, maybe. I will certainly be watching every single one of them on Amazon Prime a week after they leave the theater. I rewatched Get Out. I watched The Predator, which is the Shane Black directed, written Predator movie from 2018. I think that's what year it came out.
That sounds right.
Bad film. Very bad. Very bad movie. Just not good all around. Tongues Untied. Great movie. Really worth watching. I think it is still on the Criterion Channel. It is part of the Pride Month special that they were featuring, but it's kind of one of those things that's on there year round. I rewatched A Hard Day's Night, which is actually a good time. God damn it. I watched Prey. Finally, as part of my big project, I rewatched War of the Worlds, starring some guy. And I rewatched Treasure Planet with my friend Aurora and Mallory before our D&D game. We started it before our D&D game, and then we paused for the game, and then finished it afterwards. So Mallory was there for that first half, and Aurora was only there for the second half. But that was a really interesting rewatch. I hadn't seen that since I was in college. So, you know what? Parts of it hold up.
Yeah, I haven't.
It's definitely a Treasure Island adaptation. It's like, it looks really good.
It does.
And I kind of wish they'd gone more in that direction, you know, animation-wise. But, of course, they didn't, and now we are now. I watched
Treasure Planet
for the first time.
Treasure Planet is very aesthetically pleasing, and also some of my thoughts about it cannot make it to the final cut of Sneeple.
I'm screaming.
Oh, no!
What an odd statement.
They are 100% that, unfortunately, alien Long John Silver in that thing could get it.
I knew it! I knew that's where this was going. I was that's
that's not even to hear me out here. That's just, I'm like, no, he's like he's hot. Like, it's, anyway, I'll see myself out.
I respect you, I can't go there, but, like, I respect you so much. I mean, certainly that movie, listen, Emma Thompson plays the cat.
Also, yeah, Emma Thompson plays the cat.
I'm, you know, anyway, we can't get into it. I watched Speed.
To move on.
I watched Speed when I was packing. Packing. Oh yeah, I moved back to Portland. Hi. So
we're all in the same time zone now.
We're all in the same time zone, which is why we're like this now, as opposed to before when we were normal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched Speed as something to have on in the background while I packed my suitcases in such a way as to prepare for my flight home, my one-way trip home. And that is a movie in which everything happens.
That's everything. True. Everything happens
except
so much.
Keanu kissing Jeff Daniels on the lips. Doesn't happen in that.
Not yet.
So that's, well, I hate to break it to you. I think it's a bit late for the two of them as those characters specifically. Not to say that Jeff Daniels can't show up in like a John Wick movie.
John Wick 9, yeah.
Suddenly being like, John Wick 9, God, they'll be like 75, 80 years old on that. But like, they'll do that.
Okay, and
they'll finally kiss, and it'll be amazing. Old man Yahweh. Anyway, Night Moves. I watched Night Moves. Great movie. Gene Hackman. Watch it. Underrated. I watched Joe versus the Volcano, and despite the crazy plot of that movie, I was watching it being like, yep, no, this is exactly happening to me. This exact thing is happening to me right now. Except there's no, like, 3 Meg Ryans in what I'm experiencing right now. But otherwise, sad. Yes, it's exactly the same. I watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure for the first time, shockingly. Great film, gay film. I rewatched You've Got Mail, Night of the Hunter, Sinners, Jaws, Crossing the Land Sea, which I bought on Criterion, and The French Connection. I've been rewatching a bunch of movies since I moved back. And I watched the first Trip movie, and Addams Family Values.
Yeah.
Bad Day at Black Rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Joan Cusack and Addams Family Values.
Yeah.
Now, I know objectively, she's technically a serial killer.
Okay, but
If she's still available after... I mean, I know she... Okay, well, I guess she does die at the end of that movie. However, spoilers...
I mean, as far as we know.
As far as we know. But, like, if she's still around somewhere in the ether, definitely call me. I'm available. I'm open. That's all I gotta say about that. Yeah. Otherwise, I've been forcing my parents... Not so much forcing as gently... like guiding them down the doorway, and now they've trapped themselves there of their own volition into watching The Pit. So now we're all watching The Pit again for me, and we're almost done. So
hell yeah,
that's it.
I was trying to convince myself to rewatch Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning before I went to go see Final Reckoning, and instead accidentally watched Rogue Nation and the original Wicker Man, which is hilarious. I watched a 90s heist movie called Sneakers, which I highly recommend, especially if you are a David Strathairn fan. He's fucking adorable in that. I watched Implosion, the Titanic Sub-Disaster, and Titan, the Ocean Gate Submersible Disaster on consecutive nights. I don't know why.
I mean, I do.
My roommate was talking about it, and I was like, alright, fine. And I once again had to deal with the psychic damage of remembering that that's why the entire world knows about the existence of Everett, Washington, a place near where I grew up where I have spent a lot of time. And it's like, oh yeah, the place that built the fucking submersible that implodes wealthy, like, rich people. And I'm like, yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Everett, Washington, baby.
I mean, that's not why I know it, but, like, yeah, I didn't realize that was also that.
Yeah, they filmed all this, they had all this footage from, like, the Ocean Gate building, and I was like, that's the Everett Marina.
No.
I kind of like the Everett Marina, actually.
No, yeah, I mean, it's beautiful.
It's like, Everett's actually kind of a nice place.
Everett's a very beautiful place.
I took the bus through it. It was very nice.
So, shout out to Everett, Washington, for having other things besides the dumbest motherfucker alive who... Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, those were both just, like, made me really mad. And then I did we decided to try an idea that my household had been talking about called horror brunch. Where we make brunch, watch horror movies during the daytime, and then watch something goofy as a palate cleanser. Which is how I ended up watching Our Point, which is a Korean Vietnam War ghost story, which bangs.
Which I really want to watch now.
Which blew my fucking brains out, and then Lilo and Stitch, all in a row.
Yeah. The original, I assume.
Yeah. I hadn't seen that movie since it came out, and it came out right at the specific period where I was being a pretentious dickhead. So I don't think I liked it very much. And it made me really emo this time around. And also I spent way too much money on the DVDs of NBC Hannibal, and so we're watching that.
Oh, excellent.
Because we have to get through all of Hannibal before one of my roommates goes to college in a different city, and callously abandons me. So yeah, we're watching Hannibal, which has been... That show is only 39 episodes. That does not seem like enough for how insane it made all of us.
It is crazy. There's a lot happens in that show.
Hey, as somebody who just, like, rewatched all of Slings and Arrows in, like, 2 weeks with my parents, like, you can get a lot of mileage in just 18 episodes.
Yeah, you can get a lot of crazy. Depending on how long the episodes are, too.
Very true. Hannibal, I kept being like, oh, you know, they would be like, here's the murder thing. I'd be like, oh, I remember this one really vividly. Oh, I remember this one really vividly. Because I thought it had, like, 20 episodes a season, and I was just remembering the greatest hits. And it's like, no. You remember every minute of this entire show, like, really well, Ezra. Yeah, so,
Still haven't watched it. One day.
I want to rewatch it. It stands up. It's really fucking good.
Mm-hmm. I recently listened to the cut audiobook of Red Dragon as narrated by Chris Sarandon on a drive home, which was kind of a questionable choice to do at night, but I did it. And I finished that and I was like, damn, this shit's good. I should rewatch Hannibal, and also finally watch Manhunter.
Oh, yes! Sorry.
I should
I love that
watch.
movie.
I should actually watch Silence of the Lambs, because the thing about me is that I have never actually seen Silence of the Lambs. I have listened to Silence of the Lambs.
Right.
Yes. Also a great film.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a minute.
Yeah. So yeah, that's.
We could do a little movie
I thought I
night.
had watched more stuff, but apparently I have not.
Yeah,
that's
I was.
okay.
It's been a long month. A lot has happened.
We're C above roommate moving away, so we're looking for a new housemate, which is always stressful.
People are moving. People are traveling.
They're traveling. They're moving.
The
People are having
moving.
birthdays.
I may or may not be adopting a kitten soon.
Yay!
I'm still waiting to
So
hear back
excited.
for the
Hell
place
yeah.
I put in my application for.
Hell yeah.
They're like, don't call before 48 hours have passed, and 48 hours will have passed like by tomorrow morning, and I'm gnawing at the bars, like, please,
Let me in.
please,
Yeah.
can I meet some cats? Yeah.
I want to see
Anyway.
the baby.
TBD.
I know. I want you guys to meet a new kitty. Not that my current kitty isn't most excellent. We do love her very much.
Well, yes.
Yes, but it would be nice
Obviously.
for her to have
She can have
a little kitty companion.
Yeah, a little friend. She could be the one bothered by a reckless idiot instead of the last time when she was the reckless idiot.
Hell yeah. All right.
All right, Mission
So-
Impossible.
This is
So,
our
there's
much
this film.
delayed our much delayed episode on Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, which
The beginning and the end.
yeah, I was
The
like,
rise and the fall.
I'm not even gonna try to fucking. I was like, can I even try to describe what happens in this movie? There are. I'm sad that I didn't go see it again before it left theaters up here. But oh my god, there is so much movie in this movie.
Yeah, so full disclosure on my experience, right before this movie started, I got a text. I saw this movie obviously when I was in New York, and I got a text from my ex-roommate that was basically, I would find out later, precipitating my whole housing situation blowing to pieces, and the reason why I had to move back to Portland. Or why I ultimately decided, like, that night that I saw this movie to move back to Portland. And I got it right before the movie started, and like an idiot, I was like, I got 3 texts from Emily, why don't I check them? And then I checked them, and I was like, awesome. And then the movie started, and it was like almost 3 hours long. So I was thinking about those texts, those extremely stressful texts, the entirety of that film, trying to enjoy myself and having a really hard time. And also at the same time this was happening, I had ordered a Mission Impossible themed cocktail that they were selling, and it never came. This is the tragedy of a lifetime. And I had to like get a refund afterwards. I was like, I'm so sorry, it never came. And he was like, I'm so sorry. And there's like a guy sitting with his girlfriend next to me who they had never been to a show at the Alamo before, so they were like being dickheads, so they didn't know how ordering there worked, and then they thought it was the fault of the servers. And I was getting annoyed with them, and I was like, shut the fuck up, stop waving your hand around, you're in a movie theater. Anyway, there's a lot of things happening at this showing that contributed to an interesting experience of this film. My parents wanted to take me again with my cousin when I came back here so that I could have an enjoyable time once again seeing it, but we haven't done that yet. And it's kind of not playing in theaters anymore, so we didn't get to do that. So I will try and remember what I experienced seeing this film, but it was heavily influenced by the negative things happening in my personal life at that time. And the fact that I never got my I was experiencing it stone cold fucking sober, which that just makes me madder than anything.
What was I feel like I have to go look at the cocktail now.
I wonder if they still have it.
Okay, time to Google things. Welcome to Sneeple, the show where we look things up live on air.
Yeah, there's a picture of it, but I can't seem to get the description. Hang on. It was called Mission Accepted, and it was kind of like It was like a rum cocktail. It was like something in rum. I'm like reading off a very blurry picture that somebody took of their Mission Impossible menu. A fiery ginger syrup, passion fruit, lime, and seltzer. And it looks kind of cool. It's like, orange, bright orange at the top, and then like green towards the bottom, kind of like, submarine. Like it's the,
sounds pretty good, actually.
It looks really delicious, and I was very excited about it. And I wasn't very excited. I was like, I'm looking forward to my alcoholic drink. You know the way you look forward to alcoholic drinks. And then it never came.
No.
And it was the saddest thing in the world. So anyway, that's. And now I'm looking at it. They've got their Superman special menu, and I'm just like, God damn it. Anyway.
I went to go see this movie with my parents, which I thought was very funny. Because my dad, notorious fan of the Mission Impossible TV show, which he's like, I don't like that they made them into superhero movies, but was like, yeah, we'll go see this in a theater with you. I'm like, I love you guys. So that was quite funny. I spent a lot of time. I cried a little bit, and I also spent like a lot of time kind of just like making incredulous faces at the screen. And like not even in a bad way. Just in a like I am going to simply accept in a radical acceptance kind of way. Like I just the thought, you know what, this may as well happen, parenthetical, like affectionate, just so many times. So many times. Because this movie is insane.
Yeah. There's some crazy shit happening in that. And I like the big set piece, obviously, the underwater set piece, around which
really thought I was going to watch a man die.
Yeah, that was the part where I like forgot about my problems, because I was like, forget what's happening in your life. There's a man dying up there. Like, that man is going to die. You stop thinking about what's going on. And then, like, obviously he lived. But
like, you intellectually understand they're not gonna kill him in the middle, like they're not gonna kill Ethan Hunt in the middle of the movie, but I swear to God, I was like chewing on my knuckles that entire sequence!
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when you're younger and you understand kind of theoretically that like every time you watch a VHS tape, you're not making the actors do the whole movie again, but at the same time you're like, but what if I am? You know what I mean?
Sure.
It was kind of like that, where I was like, yeah, I mean, obviously I know he's not going to die, and I know that he didn't actually die. But what if he dies? Not just in the movie, but in real life! And then he doesn't. And you're like, wow, that's pretty impressive, I have to say.
Yeah, oh man. Yeah, my first thought walking out of this was, I have never been in, like, the level of enthusiasm that Tom Cruise has for flinging himself out of planes. I've never been that enthusiastic about anything in my whole life. Like, I was reading stuff later about how they did some of the stunts, and some of the stuff at the very end with the biplanes, with the parachute bullshit. He's wearing the camera rig.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Yeah. Yep.
That man is filming himself acting while falling out of a plane. Ethan Hunt is over here like, I would really like to stop having to, almost kill myself saving the world, and Tom Cruise is like, I love inventing new and exciting ways to give my insurance company a fucking aneurysm.
Yeah.
And it's so nice that Christopher McQuarrie just keeps being like, I also love finding new and exciting ways to give your insurance company an aneurysm. This is so fun. God. Like, what the shit?
I like this idea where, like, Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt's, like, the only word that I can think of, and I know this obviously is not the word, but there's a different version of this word that maybe you can help me with. The only word that I can think of is fursona. So it's not that, but, like, it's like the way that you were describing just now.
Self-insert OC?
Yeah, like, the way that you just described that situation is that Ethan Hunt wants to live, but Tom Cruise keeps killing him, is, like, trying to kill him anyway, is, like, Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt's self-insert.
Yeah, it's not fursona, for sure.
It's definitely not fursona. But there's gotta be a word that's similar that I'm trying to think of.
I think that's the closest thing as to what you're trying to say.
Self-insert OC?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
unless you can think of
anything
something better.
Else. No, I mean, let's just talk about literally anything else than Tom Cruise being a persona of a fictional character.
Okay.
Look, we've said it. You can only say it once, and no one's ever said it before. And now we're breaking new ground by saying it.
You know, I don't think anyone's ever said those words in that order before.
You say that now, I don't know.
I mean, maybe they have.
I'm certainly
but,
not going to try and confirm it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not going to be the one to make that Google search. I'll tell you that fucking much.
If someone wants to confirm, just let us know.
For dedicated listeners.
@gmail.com.
Yeah, you know where to find us.
Yeah.
I have... So, my journey with this movie was I walked out of it going, I think that was kind of a huge mess from a, like, film criticism, like, storytelling discipline point of view, 100%. But I don't care because I love Mission Impossible. And then I made the mistake of getting on Tumblr, and a handful of people were like, would you like to have a bunch of long and extremely well thought out posts about how Ethan Hunt is the saddest motherfucker in the universe? And now I'm like, I don't even, I'm like, what, I'm like, was that a good movie? I have no fucking clue. A lot happened, though, and I'm sad about it.
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting here like a month later going like, I'm glad I took some notes because I just have the, like, feelings filter over the whole movie.
Yeah. I mean, so much of it was, my major complaint was, like, and obviously, like, I got out of this film and I found out there's a very nice man who I was talking to because he was also getting a refund. They were going through a lot that day. The wait staff at the Alamo, God bless. But he was like, yeah, my friends took me to see it. I've never seen a single one besides this one. And I was like, why? But I know that, like, logistically people do that. And because I was just like, not only did we just have this huge recap, because Alamo does, like, those, like, special screening things beforehand where they have some guy being like, if you're walking into a franchise, like, they did this for Scream as well when we went to go see Scream 6. Yeah, they did, like, this whole recap thing that wasn't that was just part of, like, something that just is like doing.
The Alamo does. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah. I mean, it's, like, fun and fine, but I was like, I don't need this because obviously I just rewatched every single Mission Impossible.
A fucking amateur.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah, like, I've seen every single one of those, like, 3 times this year.
This baby shit.
Yeah, like, you don't need to explain to me what happens. But they're like, obviously you've only ever seen Brian De Palma's Mission Impossible one time in your whole life. And I was like, ha ha! How little you know me.
Fucking idiot.
Wow, you have a much more flattering idea about how I use my time.
I know.
Literally. So I guess I was not the target audience for that, but then I also felt like I was not then the target audience for the movie itself. It feels like there was some studio mandated, perhaps, edits. I'm saying studio mandated to be generous. I don't actually know if that is true. It feels like there was some meddling that was involved that was like, people aren't going to understand what's happening, so you need to have more of these, like, literal flashbacks to remind people what's going on.
Yeah,
and I was like,
weird.
I don't, and it was like every 5 seconds. I was like, I really don't need these. And, like, I personally, this is just a me thing. A filmmaking pet peeve of mine is literally that when they're, like, talking about a character or thinking about a character, and then to remind the audience, like, just in case you've forgotten who this character is and what they looked like, we're going to show you them, and we're going to flash back to a shot of them earlier in the movie. Kenneth Branagh as Henry V, which I otherwise think is, like, a masterpiece, mostly does this at the end of the movie, and it really fucking bothers me.
Oh, yeah. I usually turn Kenneth Branagh's Henry V off before I get to the very end of the movie.
Yeah,
I'm like,
justifiably, because you're just like, well, and it's over. The important part's over. Oops. But, like, yeah, they do that when they're in the French court, and like, oh, all the people who have died in this literally pointless war. And then they show you, like, do you remember all these people? And I was like, well, yes, I was watching the fucking movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Who do you think I am?
They are, like, we did show you a lot of roughly identical-looking white English guys.
That's stupid. That's fair. But it's, like, everybody who has died, like, they're like, remember Mrs. Quickly? And I was like, yeah, I remember Mrs. Quickly. I remember Falstaff. Yes, I remember John Falstaff, one of the most iconic movie characters who's in this movie, even though he's not in the play Henry V. On screen, or on stage anyway. Anyway, it's like a whole thing. I whenever I see it, it really makes me cringe. I think it's really annoying, and it bothers me. So that's just, like, me personally. when this movie was doing that, like, every time they mentioned a person, or a plot point, or anything, and they were like, here's the footage of that. And I was like, yeah, you don't need, like, once in a while is okay. I get it.
This is so funny. I have no memory of this thing. The movie. I believe you. I'm just like, I totally don't remember the movie doing that. I think I just edited that part out.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was not in a good mood, so I was getting to the point where I was like, okay, enough is fucking enough. This is egregious. Like, do you think I have no memory at all? But again, there are people who had never seen any of these movies, but, like, the reason, like, why this technique bothers me is that if you've never seen any of the Mission Impossible movies, just showing you clips from previous Mission Impossible movies isn't necessarily going to clear up anything about what's happening in these films. It's like, again, I've seen these movies more than once, let's just say that, and, like, there are some people who have seen them more. Plot-wise, a lot of the time, I couldn't tell you what's happening in a lot of these movies. Not directly. If you were to ask me, like, please explain to me what the main conflict is, especially in something like Mission Impossible 3. They were like, what's happening in that movie? And I'm like, couldn't tell you.
You ask me what happens in Mission Impossible 3, and I say, Philip Seymour Hoffman is so hot, he makes me reconsider my thing about blondes.
He's really, it's like, if you watch that movie, the thing where, like, Philip Seymour Hoffman, has to act like Tom Cruise pretending to be Philip Seymour Hoffman, and it's maybe the hottest thing I've ever seen another actor do in a movie ever. And then they almost throw him out of an airplane, and it's like, oh my god, and they blow up a bridge, and they're like, no, but the plot. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. There's this thing called the rabbit's foot.
Which, I did appreciate that. Okay, full disclosure.
Sure.
Spoilers. So many spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie by now, turn this thing off until it comes to streaming. Also, you probably won't remember what we say because so much shit happens in this movie.
Yeah.
But this is your spoiler warning. Take heed. I did appreciate that they were like, oh yeah, hey, remember when you stole the thing that you didn't understand in Mission Impossible 3 because that was the only way to save your wife, and it came back to threaten the entire fate of, like, humanity as a species. And it's like, okay, but would he have done anything differently? No. I don't know. I get it. I got a kick out of it. Like, sometimes I think that kind of stuff is like, that could have been really stupid. Mm-hmm. But everything up until that point in the movie has been showing you that's like, no, he still would have done it. Because there's like, well, it's like, well, what am I gonna do? Not do it? Like, this is somebody who's like, it doesn't matter how likely whatever the thing is to turn out badly or get him killed. It's always preferable to not doing anything. I don't know.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff where they're bringing people back and connecting things to things in a way that I did see some people complain about. Some of it bothered me less than others. That didn't bother me. I thought was really interesting. The rabbit's foot stuff. That character from the first movie coming back, people were like, oh, this does not really care. I'm like, he was enjoyable. I really liked him. It was an interesting thing.
That actor
it's
is
weird
just...
that, he grabbed the knife, but, whatever.
It's a little weird. Guess what? Yeah, but, the guy gives a good performance.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a fun... The way that the character is written is fun. It's a fun contrast to everybody who comes into contact with Ethan Hunt fucking dies or has their life ruined, where you assume that, that guy got, turbo fired or whatever, and then it's like, oh, well, he got banished to, the absolute asshole of the universe, and he's like, no, actually, the CIA sucked and I'm happy. I don't know, I thought that was a fun reversal. Also, I don't know, this movie gets a lot of passes from me for, clearly caring about actor chemistry, and also letting people be in the same room when they film things.
God, what a concept.
Okay, the bar is underground, but they clearly screen test for things, and they cast people who have chemistry with one another, and that's an enhancement to the action. The bar is in hell. But also, I fully acknowledge that I, have no critical faculties when it comes to these movies. I'm just insane.
The only other thing that they were let's tie this back in for no reason, that was the Shea Wiggum thing being my dad is...
That was stupid.
That was silly.
Sorry, that was dumb.
That
I was fuck you!
It was just not necessary.
I don't care!
Because, here's the thing. I find him to be such... And I'm speaking from the place of somebody who has watched the entirety of the sadly canceled after 2 seasons HBO Perry Mason remake with him as his, cop buddy. I think that he is an extremely compelling actor. And if you watch Dead Reckoning, you just kind of buy that this guy has beef with him. He doesn't really need a reason. That's just how good he is at playing his character's particular motivation, even when it's not that fleshed out. It doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to have a backstory. So even though he did a good job with that whole thing, I was like, I don't really know that that's necessary to make this thing work. He's already in Dead Reckoning showing that he's not completely, despite what he says, not completely, he has a hard time completely mistrusting Ethan, even though he says explicitly, don't trust Ethan. And then his partner goes off and just fucking joins Ethan completely. Yeah. Which was so funny. He's just anyway, bye, boss, this is my new guy. And I don't know, I just don't think that, it's fine to give him, why is this guy like this motivation, but also, it didn't need to be that, and it doesn't need to be that complicated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not complicated, that one was are you okay, guys? That one out of all of them kind of I was just come on.
Yeah. Not everything has to be a legacy situation.
Especially because I feel this movie was already 3 fucking hours long, and yet I feel you can see the outlines of cut character beats. And I feel there are a handful of things where this time could have been spent more efficiently, and by more efficiently, I mean, Simon Pegg, what is that fucking shot from your Instagram, release? The forehead touch? Fucking
It's not just in the fucking... It's in the fucking trailer, and listen, I've been around the block
chewing
before.
On the drywall.
I know that historically... There are trailers for movies, so they'll put stuff in the trailers, and then that won't make it to the final cut of the film. And then you don't really notice it later until you're watching a trailer for a movie that you've seen a million times, and you're just oh, that's weird.
You're hang on.
That's not in the movie.
What the fuck is that?
But this was so fucking noticeable because as soon as that particular screenshot dropped, I explicitly, found the screenshot of it, went into this channel on the Discord, Forced People at the Movies, and was like, guys, are you ready to receive some information that may upset you? And put that in there. And I was like, that was day one of the trailer dropping, was like, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen. It doesn't happen! And I'm like, I just want to know the context. I want to know...
The thing is that the context that I have invented in my head is probably A, has better dialogue, and B, is like, more homoerotic. I'm even guessing it was more like homo-romantic than what probably actually happened in the movie, although, I don't know, Simon Pegg out here like, I have turned an action movie into a gay rom-com before and I'll do it again.
He can only do one thing.
Look, everybody in these movies is really good at looking at each other, and that's something that I do think that probably these movies are really quite easy to watch in translation, because a lot of the interesting shit doesn't have any dialogue. I mean, there's like a 20-something minute sequence that doesn't have any fucking dialogue, because it's watching Tom Cruise play, like, Turbo Frogger with torpedoes. And you're like, that man is going to die. I don't know. Another thing that somebody on Tumblr pointed out, that made me want to, peel the wallpaper off of my wall in strips and eat it like spaghetti. So, there's the knife that almost gets them caught in the vault in the first movie. And then they're like, hey, it's the guy from the first movie. He kept the knife. He gives the knife back to Ethan. Fast forward to, they're in the vault, and it's like, hey Ezra, we know what you like. We've given your favorite character attention, pneumothorax. And I'm like, it's not even my birthday. I need everyone to understand that both Maddie and Helena were like, Ezra, no spoilers, but you specifically are going to enjoy just have like an absolutely cackling enjoyment of one specific thing in this. And you were so right.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't want to be too spoilery, so I addressed it to both of you. I was like, attention all Benji and Peril lovers, there's a particular thing that happens in this film, but I was specifically thinking in this moment,
that man in danger.
Of you. I was like, listen, this particular thing is gonna drive you fucking bananas.
Yeah, I was like, I walked out of this movie going, I'm probably not gonna need to watch that again anytime soon, and then like the next day I woke up and I was like, I'm not going to need to watch that anytime soon, except for the part where I am going to watch that one scene like 5 times in a row when it comes out on streaming. And now I'm like, well, I have to watch the whole movie again because I have brain worms. But, okay, the knife that they use for the, like, ad hoc surgery, it's the same fucking knife. At some cut point in this movie, the fucking, like, symbolism-laden fucking knife goes from Ethan to Benji. I am going to chew through a load-bearing wall of my own house.
So who pulls out the knife, though? Is it him that gives it to Homecoming T's character?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Fuck me.
I am like 90% sure that it is. Also,
I think so.
The two of them are adorable.
The two of them are perfect. I was like, hello?
I was so excited that she was alive, honestly.
Yeah, me too. I was so excited she was alive.
And they were like, guess what? Women. And I was like, yay, yippee.
Yay, yippee.
I love women.
I love alive women.
This was a kind of an unscientific observation, and I'm wondering if either of you remember this well enough to feel like you can confirm it. It did feel to me like this movie made more of an effort than usual to have gender parity for their extras and, like, one-line featured roles.
Explain.
Like, when they're in the big data, you know, the big, like, we have to do everything analog warehouse with all of the maps that they're pushing the little, like, figurines around on.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at that scene, like, when you see scenes like that, you usually expect them to be, like, mostly dudes.
Right.
It was a lot. It seemed to me like it was a lot closer to being 50-50 women and men. Mm-hmm. And, like, anytime, all of the times where you saw, like, groups of, like, people in the armed forces, there were a lot, the percentage of women in those scenes in background roles and, like, the just, like, I have one line, I need to hand you something. Like, I feel like those roles, especially when they're, like, military, are just, like, that's a guy by default. And there were more than one time I went, I feel like most movies, I feel like I don't see women having those kind of one-line roles very often. I don't know. That was just, like, a thing that stuck out to me, that I was like, oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't notice it, but I think that's right. I think that sounds accurate.
That's something that I at some point, this is one of those, like, I read something sometime somewhere, and, fucked if I could remember what it was, but it stuck with me, which was that, like, the point at which, like, people start, it's like when something gets to be, like, 30% women, a lot of times men will start being like, that's when men start perceiving it as, like, women dominating a space.
Mm-hmm.
And that you will just, and that somebody had also just pointed out, like, when you see, like, you just get, like, it is totally not unusual to see large swaths of just dudes in movies, and you just, like, never think about it. I don't know. There were a couple times where I was like, would not have expected that character to just be a woman. Like, obviously it didn't matter at all, but it was like, okay, cool. Also, I'm sure a truly insane number of people got their, like, union health insurance off of this movie. So,
well, this is the important thing.
That's what a real jobs program looks like.
One of my favorite games, or my favorite things to say when I'm watching a movie, and this used to confuse, I think, one of my roommates, because it was like, they're like, what are you even saying? Was anytime watching a movie or a television show, just saying out loud, I wonder how much that guy got paid. Just for, like, doing that, like, a tiny thing. Like, there's a scene, we were obviously rewatching the entirety of Slings and Arrows, which is a great show, but there's, like, a guy in the third season who has one scene whose entire job is to, like, he has one line even where they're doing, like, I don't know what the name of what it is blanking, but they're basically doing, like, having a design meeting for King Lear, and they're pitching Jeffrey 2 different ways that Gloucester's eyes could get gouged out. And one of them pitches one of them, and the other guy's like, yeah, or we could have it like this, and the eyes come out, and he's, like, doing this really intense, like gross thing, like, right up to his face, and it's like, and he just, like, sits back down. He doesn't say anything for the rest of the scene, and he doesn't have another scene in the entire season. And I was just like, that guy just made a fucking, just, like, I got one line, and I'm gonna just act the fuck out of it and make 30 choices.
I am going to make an impression.
You are going to remember me. And indeed I did. I was like, I remember this guy from last time. And it's like, how much, I'm like, I hope that guy got paid. I hope they got their, their credit for that, their union credit. So yeah, this is definitely, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning was definitely a movie where that happened for a lot of people. The necklace. And I'm trying to remember the name of the saint that was on the necklace. There's, like, a scene at one point in the movie where a character is handed the necklace. That was the necklace that belonged to Emilio Estevez's character in the first movie. Am I wrong?
I have no idea. Really?
I seem to remember that his character had this, like, it's Saint,
is it a Saint Christopher?
Oh, I just recognized it as I was like, that seems like an Army or Navy thing. Like, yeah, there are one of the saints that, like, protects them.
Pardon me while I look stuff up live on air.
I was, like, not 100% certain.
Quick, someone call someone with a Catholic background.
Everyone Googling. For some reason, I seemed to remember that that was a thing in the first movie. I don't think there is, though.
They have that vague reference to, like, we both lost somebody, and it just kind of, like, never came up again, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's just, like, not important. Now that you're saying that, I'm like, oh, I wonder if that, like, came up in a previous movie. My dumbass just forgot, because I watched all of them, like, in my time, like, a decade ago. In reality, it was like last year. But, you know.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, I'm seeing some things that are just like, that's not what it meant.
Mission Impossible Reddit. Let me know.
Oh god, I don't want to go on the Mission Impossible Reddit.
No. But, so that was just something that I made up in my head because I was like, bring him back. Bring my boy back. He died tragically many years ago and I can't bring him back. But I think that's made up. It's something I made up in my head. But they played it like it was something, you're right, that like we both lost somebody. Like it was played like it was another thing, especially since at that point they had done that like, remember me, I'm a character from your past thing like 5 times. That I was like, I think just preparing myself for it to happen again.
Oh.
That my mind was creating scenarios. But it seemed like they were playing it like that, and then they didn't do anything with it. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, it would be weird if that was like the one connection you didn't explain, too. Because that's the one that people would be probably least likely to remember. So that did strike me as odd, but I guess it wasn't anything at all. And I'm just a crazy person. Seeing shapes in the pasta.
I did just end up on the Wikipedia page called Military Saint, where apparently there are like...
Saint would never be in the military. I'm gonna be Googling Mission Impossible necklace or something to try and figure out if someone online is more attentive than me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not like, oh no, I don't think that's real. I'm just like, that didn't even occur to me.
I am officially saying that is a thing that I have made up in terms of it being a connection to his Emilio Estevez's character. I'm not... It was, to me, played like there was a longer explanation that was going to happen vis-a-vis that at some point. That did not, and then it did not happen.
I think I interpreted it as a, like, this is significant to... not to Ethan's past, but to the other character's past.
I agree. That's what I read it, is I was like, this is the... Like I said, this necklace represents, like... yeah, anyway. Did you guys know that AMC was selling a necklace of the, like, key for $180?
No!
It sold the fuck out.
No! Because that unironically the design is really good. That unironically fucks.
It comes as a set. You can have bestie necklaces.
I want bestie necklaces of the.
But there's only 2, so you'd have to pick which bestie.
Oh, that is true. Oh, well, never mind. I can never do that. Actually, that's a lie. Like, you guys are gonna have to fight over it.
Oh, well, I don't care enough. Not as an insult to you, let me be clear. I don't wear necklaces.
Well. Alright,
that settles it. Okay, if I ever get my hands on the...
You can probably buy it on
What's crazy to me is that, you know, they had the popcorn bucket.
They did.
They did have the popcorn bucket. People are now selling them on eBay.
Jesus Christ.
Of course they are, for like $80.
Oh my god.
The Mission Impossible Final Reckoning popcorn bucket, which did involve a thing where you put the key in the thing and then it opens. Like, it's very good. It's a very good popcorn bucket. Would I spend $80 on it? No. Will it get more expensive over the next however many years? Yes, probably.
This does kind of make me sad that there's no AMC around where I live, because AMC consistently has, like, the good
cool
merch.
Shit. Yeah.
It does have good merch. It does also, like, bug me in a lot of ways.
That fucks, though!
Why is it glowing? Like, it's so cool that it's glowing, though. I was about to shit on their commercials and how many commercials they have. But, like,
but now it doesn't
if
matter.
I had a glowing popcorn bucket, then I wouldn't care about any of that.
I'm raising my hand.
Oh, yes, yeah. Sorry, everybody has their videos. I have my video off because it's dark in here.
I'm mentally raising my hand. My hand is actually on my mouse. I'm on the Mission Impossible Reddit, so fuck y'all.
Oh god, okay.
and someone was asking what the deal is, and I did remember as I was reading this, I was like, oh right, it's St. Christopher. I don't know why I know that St. Christopher is the patron saint of sailors, but I did know that, and I've forgotten since I saw the movie. But St. Christopher is the patron saint of sailors. That was something Neely gave to Ethan to show the captain. She sent him in to give him what he needs. That is what this person's interpretation is, and I was like, "Yes, that's right.
how I read it too."
That is the non-insane version.
That it's like
version of that.
this is symbolic of something between me and this is a letter of introduction.
Yes,
but it's something that can't be and it's something that can't be faked digitally.
Yes, and it could potentially be that like that particular pendant came from the person they both lost or whatever. But I think that is, we've confirmed that we are pretty sure that that's what that necklace was supposed to mean.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Mission Impossible Reddit. You know the Mission Impossible Reddit was created in 2009?
Wow.
Nice.
Crazy. Anyway.
Love that.
Grand Dame.
Thank you, /Law School Redux, top 1% commenter. Can you imagine being the top 1% commenter on the Mission Impossible Reddit?
You know, I just said no, but also based on the amount of time I spent thinking about fucking Mission Impossible, maybe!
Yeah, I could 100% see myself landing into that situation.
I don't think I've ever left a comment on Reddit in my life, despite having had an account for a couple of years now.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever actually posted anything on Reddit. I used to use it to lurk in the subreddit for, definitely totally legal downloads of, film theater productions.
Yeah.
I'm on the Steam Deck Reddit.
Yeah.
And the trans Star Wars memes.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, I want to be on the... Okay, I need to go find the trans Star Wars memes one. That's really
They're
good.
fun.
Is that where you underestimate my period? Thank you, trans Anakin is from?
Potentially. I don't know for sure.
A thing that I think to things that I just, like, think to myself periodically. My problem is that, thank you to Well, There's Your Problem, who reminded me of they made a shirt that said, "You are Boeing to die." And now my brain is trying to replace every dramatic usage of the word going with Boeing, like the planes. So if I say that at any point, just I don't know. Put a target lock on my location. Don't do anything with it, just put a target lock on my location.
Yeah, you're looking at that popcorn bucket, huh? And you're thinking to yourself, I would, in fact, eat popcorn out of it.
I mean, Adam stated earlier, I spent a
banks.
lot of money on some stupid stuff on eBay.
I mean,
I have some stupid purchases in my eBay cart, literally right now. Not this, because, once again, I don't think I eat enough popcorn to get a bucket. But, like, it's cool to look at. It's cool to look at photos of.
That does fuck pretty hard. I probably do eat enough popcorn to get a dedicated popcorn bucket. I eat a lot of popcorn.
Yeah.
I do not eat enough popcorn either, unfortunately.
Yeah. It would just sit, like on a shelf somewhere, and probably I would scare myself when I walked into a dark room and it was glowing.
That'd be a really funny nightlight. Like, this is... what do you use to, like,
5 minutes?
Yeah, what do you use to, like, find the bathroom in the middle of the night? The Mission Impossible fucking popcorn bucket for...
I bet you could rig it to become a
lamp.
Yeah,
probably.
It's the right shape.
Really funny, actually. Yeah, put some, like, LEDs in there so it doesn't burn out.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I can't go down. I cannot go down this road. I cannot go down this road.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it, boss. You'll...
Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody... How long... Oh my god, I'm sorry. It's so hot. How long have we been recording this episode?
My hand fan out. That's where we're at right now.
I really need to buy a hand fan. I had to turn the brightness down on my computer screen because it was hurting my eyeballs because I'm sitting in the absolute total dark in my boxers.
I'm sweating. I have residual cramps.
I'm
drinking so much water.
Good for you. Drink a lot of water, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Other things that I will, unfortunately cannot stop fucking thinking about in this movie. Literally everything that happens on the, extremely homoerotic submarine.
Oh my god.
I
Emmy-nominated actor, by the way, as of yesterday, I think, or the day before.
Oh, did he win an
lost track
Emmy?
of time. He got nominated for an Emmy for his work in Severance.
Deserved.
Incredible Tillman.
My God.
First of all, obviously incredible on the show Severance, for which he is nominated for.
So
Second of all, every single line delivery this man had in this movie was perfect.
I want to watch that sequence also like 5 times, because congratulations on out smoldering. Like, obviously Tom Cruise is like having a bad day at like, he's like, this is a character who's having the worst fucking day, and Tramel Silva is just like, that is a man who is like, I'm enjoying every minute of this, up to and including you in the very small fucking swimsuit shorts.
Now, I don't know how much of like this was my audience that I was with being aware being Severance heads or not. When he like slowly walked into the frame and said like, Mister,
yeah,
it was just like clapping and cheering.
Deserved.
Just
I did not have any idea he was in this movie. And he walked on screen and I made like a happy little noise.
Yeah.
Probably confusing the fuck out of my parents, who definitely have not watched Severance.
Yeah, I was aware that he was in it. I had seen promo photos of it, and I had seen him in the trailer, but by that point, I had already, like, there's so much happening in that movie that I had forgotten, like, who I was supposed to be waiting for.
And then he just, like, he saunters onto the screen and is like, hi, I am one of the handsomest men you've ever seen in your entire life.
Yeah.
He's just... I was like, I physically can't deal with how good looking this man is right now.
Yeah.
He's just so...
It was fucking funny to me that they set up that shot like we were supposed to... Like, that was a character from Mission Impossible. Like, he came on and you were like... No, everyone was supposed to be like, it's this guy! Whereas me, who has not seen Severance, I was like, am I supposed to know who this is?
Who the fuck is that?
And he was like, bitch, you better. That's the way, like, literally the way he entered the screen. You're right. It's like, they set it up.
Yeah.
This guy,
he's just like, hi.
Yeah, you know
I know that Tom Cruise is, like, one of the most famous people on the planet. This is my movie now.
Literally. And I was like, yay, yippee.
I
mean, I wasn't mad. I was like, this guy rocks.
It's so good.
My primarily attracted to men and mask people ass was just like between Tramel Tillman, Tom Cruise in the tiny fucking shorts, and the incredibly hot mask Submariner who's like, don't fuck up my extremely exclusive diving equipment. Hello? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that actress's name is. I looked her up and she's been in a bunch of things that I don't care about.
Katie O'Brien?
It's Katie something.
She's in Love Lies Bleeding, which is a good film that came out last year with Kristen Stewart.
Oh yeah, okay, that is the one that I immediately was like, okay, well, I'm not watching that. I'm definitely watching that.
Yes, I recommend.
Yeah, she was just hello. Yeah. I'm gay.
Yes. Well, yes.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing, yeah, well, you know, we've all heard me talk about Simon Pegg in these movies, so, it's not like y'all don't know what you're dealing with. He has some really good outfits. He has some good fits in this movie. There's one note that I had, because I took a bunch of notes on my phone afterwards, because I was like, that was 3 hours of movie, and I feel like my brain is falling out of my ears, and one of the bullet points just says, Cozy Sweater Squad. I think there's a point at which a bunch of them are wearing cozy sweaters, and I was like, oh, that's really cute. Also, I have a note that says, me during all the scenes under the sea ice. Wow, I also loved AMC's The Terror. Yeah. I just...
Yes.
Yes.
That
was like the main thing I was thinking about. I was just like,
AMC The Terror Mission Impossible crossover when.
Oh God.
Okay, wait a minute. Oh God, I have to go on AO3 really quick. Guys,
there's be some time travel involved in that one.
I'm just gonna see if they have it.
For some, we invent a reason that the Mission Impossible crew has to get something off of the wreck of Erebus or something like that.
I accidentally opened a rip in space time. Hang on, it's probably easier if I
be fun.
go to the Terror.
Anyway,
Terror.
Jesus Christ, Helena.
I want to make sure, there's 6,500 Terror
just in case.
Just in case. For the first time in a
you gotta just say
include crossovers.
You have there is crossovers. There you go, show only crossovers. Now I'm fascinated. This is going to be some interesting information about the Terror fandom, I feel like.
Musketeers. The Thing.
Oh, yes. What? Okay. I'm trying to think about other... I don't know.
R.I.P. Luther.
I was trying to feel... Because I felt... going into it, I was like, they're probably going to kill somebody off. And I'm probably going to be mad about it. And I'm going to be honest. I expected to hate that, and I didn't. I thought it was actually, done... I was like, okay, and then... the whole, for most of the movie, I was like, I am ambivalent to this decision to kill Luther off because I love Luther, and also, it is pretty wild to be that's what makes this feel like it is going to be the last Mission Impossible movie to me for a number of reasons. One of which I think that it's very plausible in universe for all of this stuff to be you cannot... Ethan Hunt cannot physically rely on his body to do this kind of stuff anymore. Because, decompression sickness is really bad for you.
You don't say.
And also, my man has now drowned, multiple times. Again, this shit is just bad for you. But I was like, okay, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this. Because that's the only person who's known him the whole time.
Yeah.
That's the only person who he has, been able to consistently trust for 20-something years. And you take that away and it's and then the recording at the end, I'm like, oh, that's not, he's never gonna be the same guy after this.
Yeah. And he's really broken up about it, too, immediately after, which is
my man is
in a way
Tom Cruise spends kind of a lot of this movie literally crying.
Yeah, it was good.
Which, I personally, I'm hello.
I am
I like what I like, and one of the things that I like is Tom Cruise crying, apparently. I refuse to feel shame about this.
Nor should you.
I don't know. There's a really good post that somebody made that was I believe I'd have to go dig it up. I think it's a C.S. Lewis quote about, storytelling choices that are if you have a 3-character friend group, the reason that you kill one of them off is because it doesn't just remove character B from the situation, it removes, the part of... it's it takes away part of the other two sides of the triangle. You lose that person's part in this other part. The thing that, if, it's okay, so, you have A, B, and C, B dies, and then, so C loses the things that B, the things that they brought out in the other person. It's never... You just, it's not just that person you lose, it's the things that they brought out in your other friends. Right. That would be yet another fucking piece of Mission Impossible posting that made me cry because I've been emotionally volatile. There's a lot going on, just in the universe. And I don't know, this movie's both really fucking bleak and kind of I don't know. It was a little bit weirdly life-affirming for me.
Yeah,
because, the end and just, I was I cannot believe that I'm about to say this out loud with my, human mouth that's supposed to be, think, it was supposed to be like capital S smart or whatever, but I was like, oh man, the idea of like doing, like it really mattering that you do things for people and also for people who you would never meet, like that those two things are equally important. I was like, well shit. Okay, fine, maybe that's like a really basic ass thing about like we're trying to have a society or whatever, but I'm like, this is a multi-million-dollar blockbuster movie that also is sort of sitting here going, hey guys, maybe we shouldn't all have nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, between the two of those things, I was like, this is actually this is a nice message to have go out to however many millions of people are going to see this movie. Yeah, I'm making a list of surprisingly. This is a smaller version of how I felt walking out of like Oppenheimer, going, damn, that was like a very explicitly like nuclear weapons are bad, which is like just an unusual thing to see in a blockbuster film. And this movie doesn't like come, it's not like a. But the thing is that
because
like,
it was still got funded by the
this is but like this is a movie that is like, hey, by the way, mutually assured destruction doesn't work.
Yeah,
because the problem is that you have a computer, or you have a fucking rogue AI that is taking over nuclear like programs one by one, and the remaining people won't disarm them. Because they're like, but we can't be the ones who are like without our nuclear weapons. And it's like, the entire world is going to become a nuclear wasteland. They're like, but what if this other country uses that opportunity to nuke us? And it's like, maybe the thing here is that, like, I don't know, this just read to me as like, it's pretty easy to go, hey, maybe all of this diplomacy shit doesn't work and we just like shouldn't have nuclear weapons. They're nothing except for a ticking time bomb.
Have you seen the movie War Games?
No, I probably should.
Not yet.
We should all watch this together.
I
have it on Blu-ray.
I have a list of movies that are like, I have my like big watch list, and then I have my list of like movies to watch the next time you can't think of something to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm putting War Games on that
those.
one. This is a fun list. The first three things on this list are The War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, which I have never seen somehow. My dad doesn't usually like Tom Cruise movies, so I didn't see a lot of the blockbuster ones that came out when I was growing up, because he was just like, I don't want to go see that. The Promised Land, which is the Mads Mikkelsen historical drama, and The Crow.
Right.
This is a very funny list.
Hell yeah,
It's
brother.
a pretty bleak list.
Oh yeah, and then K-pop Demon Hunter.
We do have some bummers.
Okay, that's a good nice.
I do want to watch
K-pop
Demon Hunters.
I am so excited to get stoned and watch K-pop Demon Hunters.
Been following like one of the lead people on that movie forever.
Cool.
And they were like, oh, I just released this movie, and I was like, neat. And then 24 hours later, the art is all over my dash, and I was like, whoa, hey, oh, hey, yeah.
I need to know what's up with the blue cat demon. It's so cute.
It's very cute.
I want like a plushie version of the blue cat demon.
I mean, give it
I
some
really
time.
hope somebody makes those.
I'm sure they'll drop it.
I would absolutely buy a little like figurine of that or something to like stick on my computer.
Totally.
I don't know. Do we have any other? I do think it's. I also just am like I did like this movie because I am also like deeply anti-AI.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's right. Don't let AI like take over the production of movies.
That was another one that I was like, it was cool to see a movie that was very much like there is too much AI like in our technology, and that can and may cause a problem, which was interesting. And it was separately, I was like, it's interesting to go back to a Y2K vibe almost of like,
yeah.
The problem is not like, oh, the numbers are wrong and ergo, like, everything's gonna crash. The issue is that, like, what happens if the numbers themselves cause the crash like, because they want to.
Yeah. I do also think it's funny that one of the things that this movie, that this, you know, Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning are both quite, like, overtly concerned with is deepfakes. I'm just like, I just think that's a very funny thing to have, like, because it's been such a topic of conversation in Hollywood, this movie is like, oh, and also, this thing specifically is really fucking bad. Don't do it!
Please don't. Please stop.
This, you know, obviously, subtlety, this is not what you come to these movies for.
No. I think Angela Bassett is the most beautiful woman ever.
I loved her in this movie.
Madam President.
She was fucking great, and also, yeah, oh my god, she's so gorgeous!
Like, what the fuck? Also, maybe we want to, like, rewatch Contact, which she has a small but mighty role in. Also working in the White House, but not quite up to the executive branch at that time. Or no, yes, she is. She's on the president's staff. In Contact. But I was like, oh, she's so good. She's so, like, good in this movie, and also just, like, so distractingly beautiful that I was just like, if we were allowed to have, anyway, I can't say it. If we were allowed to, like, live in this version of the time in this timeline, obviously very bad, because there'd be, like, secret stuff happening where, like, Ethan Hunt is having to save us from all the time, and no one would ever know. But in this version, like, Angela Bassett would be our hopefully democratically elected president, and we would still we would have the popular vote in this one, I guess, and socialism. That's what's happening in this timeline. Now that we've destroyed the internet thanks to Tom Cruise, we can all have socialism. You know, in America.
That's what we have to hope for.
I obviously I love the internet. Like, we make
podcasts for the internet.
We make podcasts for the internet. I love the internet. And also, I remember seeing Dead Reckoning, and I was like, damn, I need to flush my phone down the toilet and get one of those, like, facial recognition disrupting haircuts.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Literally, my dad was like, hey, earlier today, he was calling me down to his computer, and he was like, is this, what is this website? And he was, like, showing me a password that I had on a website with my email that was exposed in a data breach, like, 2 days ago. And he was like, do you know what this website is? And I was like, I literally have no fucking clue what this website is. It has, like, access to my social security number.
Oh, Jesus.
It's, like, some kind of, like, payroll thing that I think I used when I was, like, with some company I worked with, but I have no memory of it whatsoever. Yeah. And in that moment, I was like, maybe we should just get rid of the internet for a little bit. Not forever, but we should have off days when we're just, like, taking care of the bad stuff and removing all the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Regulation's important, I think, personally. That's just my onion.
Yeah, that's hot take. Yeah.
Hot take. Regulation is good, actually, for most things.
As someone who, like, works in, like, financial fraud detection and prevention, it's, just a PSA for all of our beloved listeners. Don't, if you think you're, like, if someone says they're calling you from your bank, hang up and call the number on the back of your credit or debit card.
I learned that one the hard way.
Or just don't pick up the phone. Don't answer the phone.
Don't do it.
Yeah, and if they text you, asking you, just once. Like, wait a minute. Why are you texting me? Immediately change your password.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't believe I have to go watch this fucking movie again, like, when they put it on streaming. It's 3 hours long!
It is.
It's 3 hours long, and, like, there's a whole absolutely bug fucking... It's like, okay, so, the stuff with the biplanes...
Mm-hmm.
At the end, which, like, we haven't even... I just was like, that was another one where I was sitting there just like...
That was crazy. I was like, I don't know where this is going.
This is
the
insane.
Whole time.
We haven't even talked about the ostensible villain, who's not the AI guy in this, but who's, like, the AI guy's little, like, human representative. He's like
sort of
the relationship that like the Cardassians have with like on Deep Space Nine with those guys that like.
Oh God, you're so right.
I really
You know
thought you
who I
said
mean,
Kardashians
right?
for a moment, and I was like, where
Well,
is
yes,
this
we
going?
all remember when Kim was on Deep Space Nine.
I love Kim's new look.
Species. Deep Space Nine. If I don't get it, it's just gonna be so bad forever. It's the guys that, what's his bucket from Reanimator plays? All of them. He plays all of them. Yeah, it's the actor
Sorry,
who
that's
plays
the
him.
character, not the actor, and I'm blanking on the name of the actor right now, which is so cringe.
It's the Vorta. It's the Vorta. It's like there's the Cardassians, there's the Founders, there's the Vorta and the Jem'Hadar, and like Gabriel in this movie is like the Vorta to the AI's Cardassian.
This is
or something.
So much.
This is a deep cut.
That's a deep.
I was gonna say, Helena, come back to us.
But those who know, am I right?
Like, it makes
feel
sense, but also I'm just like, goddamn, Age.
Well, listen. Good show.
If you know, you know. If you don't know, I'm so sorry.
If you don't know, you're like, what the fuck is happening? If you don't know, you're like, damn, I guess I should watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
That's true. I've been meaning to rewatch it, and now I'm like, man, I really gotta rewatch Deep Space Nine.
Honestly, some good ass makeup. That was a cool
makeup.
Cool fucking design on those. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I almost feel like the thing with the. Like, obviously, yes, the guy who's the handmaid of the... I'm like, I said handmaiden. I don't know what I mean. I don't know where I'm going.
But he eventually, if I'm recalling correctly, the idea is he kind of does, like, a turn and is trying to, like, control it, right? Like, he's not... Am I remembering that correctly, or did I get mixed up with somebody else?
He wants to, he wants to be in control of it.
Right.
That's
why I am remembering that correctly. Then.
That's why he takes the poison, the thing that's supposed to neutralize it from from Luther and kills him. And it's like, I don't know. I think that I don't know that actor's name. I feel like I should.
He's handsome
because. He is, one, he is very handsome. Two, every single time I saw him, part of my brain went, isn't that the guy from Star Trek Discovery? It is not.
It's not. He has the face where you're like, I know you from something. Then you look him up and you're like, oh, I don't know you.
You're like, no, maybe I... Yeah, it's like, okay, wait, never mind, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
I think that I really liked what they did with him in Dead Reckoning. I really like his performance. Like, I think he... does a lot with kind of a funky role.
Yes.
This is what I mean when I say, like, they cast people who have interesting screen presence, because sometimes people kind of just need to, like, stand still while a bunch of weird shit happens around them.
Very true.
And they need to be compelling without having a lot of dialogue. And he's compelling without needing a lot of dialogue. I do also think it's interesting that it goes from, like, the villain role expands. Like, he is still a problem, but in a lot of ways, the villain in this movie is, like, humanity's worst impulses.
It's very... Now it's my turn to say stuff that's not going to make sense to anybody. Except
Hell yeah, go nuts!
Cool.
I rewatched... Dead Reckoning Part 1 or whatever, which that was very funny that they did a Part 1 and then on the second part they were like, fucking who cares. I was watching that and I was texting multiple people being like, this movie's just like Metal Gear. But there was no one else who had either seen that movie or knew about Metal Gear to back me up, so I was just kind of like swimming in the sea by myself. And this movie just kept following that, and I was like, this is just like Metal Gear. In that it's about, like, rogue AI, and, like, the power of technology, like, the fear of nuclear fallout, but is also, like, about the way humanity twists and turns itself and, like, has its own agenda, even when all they want is peace, and how that can fall apart so easily. And it's so Metal Gear is the thing about it.
I mean, Hideo Kojima really did love the fuck out of this movie, so...
He did! He did!
He has been non-stop posting about this fucking movie.
I want him to adopt Tom Cruise into his collection of weird little men.
Yeah, he's gotta scan him.
He's got bring him in.
Yeah, be like, alright, Hideo Kojima is like,
I know you want him.
I'm gonna be the only man Tom Cruise trusts to scan him.
Yeah.
So he knows I won't use my powers for evil.
You can get him, I know you can.
I believe in him. Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, that seems like a sign. Is there anything else?
I was gonna say anything else?
I feel bad that I haven't talked about Haley Atwell at all, who I do love.
Yes.
I was initially kind of meh on her character. I think that it's an interesting thing where the thing is that Ethan Hunt exudes a field that makes people want to like be better people, which I just think is a fun trait to have in a hero. And the thing is that it's like she resists that for longer than is usual, which I also think is an interesting place to be.
Yeah.
I do think that they're like some of their interactions fell a little flat to me.
The point where we got to like weird romance vibes, I was like,
I was like,
none
the
of
part
this.
where I was like,
no
don't make out, don't make out, don't make out, don't make out, don't make out. And I think that it's just a weird, like, Haley Atwell is a fucking capital M movie star. She's doing great. The way that her character is written reads as that character should be like 19.
Mm-hmm.
In a way that felt odd, but also maybe it works because the thing is that you're like, well, this is a level of kind of like naivete, but it's like, okay, yeah, actually that makes sense because even for somebody who is like a seasoned criminal, the stuff that the IMF is doing is like absolutely pants-shittingly terrifying.
Totally.
Like, it really, I think it does an interesting job of hammering home just how batshit the stuff that the IMF is like, yeah, this is just like another day at the office. Like, yeah, you know, like, it might kill you, but we don't have any other options.
Yeah.
We have to fling Tom Cruise out of a plane again. We solve all problems.
Another day, another dollar.
Tom Cruise. Yeah, by another day, another parachute. I don't know. I think that they were both working really hard to sell something that I kind of just went, about. Yeah. Mostly because they're both working really hard and do not have it's just the chemistry's not as good as it is with Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, I really missed her.
I miss her a lot. I again, that's one of those ones where, like, I mean, if nothing else, she was probably like, I have to go film Dune.
Which, sad, but...
You know, which, bummer. Like, she is very hot in Dune, but the thing is that I do not want to watch the Dune movies. Sorry. Sorry, Rebecca Ferguson.
You won't catch
don't
me.
Care. You will not catch me watching any more Dune films.
Nope.
I don't know. I got to... This is another thing where, like, I have really appreciated some of the Mission Impossible blogging, because there are a lot more people who are like, I'm very fond of Grace, and I was like, okay, I see where you're coming from. I am now much more fond of this character.
Yeah.
That being said, have I spent a lot of time mentally photoshopping a different character into the, we have to put the man in the pressure tube sequence? Maybe.
Yeah.
I also 3 guesses as to who that was, and the first 2 don't count.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Who knows?
For me, it's one of those things where I'm like, I wish she had a woman to kiss.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, because it is kind of delightful. It always surprises me because of Tom Cruise's weird, I'm changing my fucking display name to Lesbian Ethan Hunt. Just that too. But listen, I mentioned already how in Ghost Protocol they missed a huge opportunity to have Tig Notaro just show up as Ethan's long-lost sister or something and be like, I'm you.
Totally.
Also, why don't you sit this one out, Ethan? I got this. And then Tig just takes over for him for the rest of the movie.
Sure.
Anyway, that's my idea. But also it's like Tom Cruise's weird, like, on again thing where you're just like, if we put you in a romantic situation, is that going to be normal for you? Are you going to be good? Because sometimes it's like Eyes Wide Shut where you're like, oh, this is really bad for you. Not like bad for you performance-wise, but like that movie is just like, this is what happens when you put him in that kind of a situation.
Sure.
It is unpredictable.
But in like Edge of Tomorrow... Even in Edge of Tomorrow, it's, like, super chaste. That's not a movie that I feel like is missing a sex scene, per se. But I'm also, like, when they did kiss, I was like, oh, we're actually...
Yeah, it felt like it could go either way. It was more subtle, which I kind of liked. I was like, this is nice that it's, like, chill.
Yeah, to be clear, I was like, let this be a romance. But I was, like, I liked how little and how much they did with it in that movie, which is a good movie.
Yeah,
that I love.
I do adore Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, agreed.
I do also, a number of people, again, are fond of pointing out, they're like, see, the thing about the history of Ethan Hunt as a character is he does kind of have to sit here and go, me loving people gets them killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or their, like, lives ruined. And so I do think that it just does create an interesting thing of, like, you know, like, of like, okay, this is somebody who's like, you are hot, and also we've just been through a lot of extremely high octane adrenaline experiences together. Maybe I have a little bit of a hero worship thing going on, and it's like, I am responding to this because I am the loneliest, saddest motherfucker on the planet, but also, like, I did, like, also have a situationship with this other woman, and it absolutely did get her extremely stabbed to death.
Yeah.
I wish I could... There's a whole bunch of interviews with Chris McQuarrie about this movie specifically, and one of the things that either didn't get filmed or got cut that I saw a reference to somewhere was that one of the things they wanted to do was kind of give you an idea of what the fuck Ethan is up to between Mission Impossible movies. And it was way, like, more fucked up and sad than I was expecting, because it was like him sitting in, like, a cafe or a diner or something, trying to do, like, lighter tricks and failing because his, like, hands are starting to get fucked up.
Oh.
And, like, just being totally invisible in public.
Mm-hmm.
And you're, like, you get to kind of giving this sense that, like, maybe at one point he had, like, an apartment and, like, a normal, like, somewhat normal life outside of the IMF, but, like, he's been burned so many times. And it's like, I don't think that guy has, like, a fucking mortgage or anything anymore. Like, what's he doing when he's not on one of these missions? I don't know, but I think it's pretty sad and, like, lonely. And now I'm just like, I'm going to, as previously stated, peel the wallpaper off and eat it like spaghetti. Yeah. I am feeling just fucking shrimp emotions about Mission Impossible, and I would like to stop because it's embarrassing.
I went to Tom's IMDb page to see if there was any projects he had in development, specifically with Chris. And my close personal friends, Chris and Tom.
Yeah.
And IMDb is just showing me a montage of his entire career, and so I'm watching him age before my eyes, seeing how, like, little baby uncooked.
Oh god,
like,
weird, spiky hair.
And I'm like, whoa, this is weird. It's so weird. You were so. Why is your? Yeah, it's so different. Anyway,
Raise a glass to one of the craziest partnerships in Hollywood.
Quite literally. Upcoming, though.
The two of them are simply here just, like, enabling. Just wow, talk about two people who are just, like, enabling each other's most insane impulses at all times.
Do you remember... No, this is really funny. I have to know. He's got an untitled Inaritu film in the works, and the summary that IMDb has now is that the most powerful man in the world causes a disaster and embarks on a mission to prove that he is the savior of humanity.
Wow. I wonder what. Okay.
Like, that's just... Pip Torrens in this movie, though, so obviously it's gonna be great. Even though I can't stand Inaritu films generally. That's just so funny that is actually the summary for that fucking movie.
That is so fucking funny. What?
A follow-up to the 2014 sci-fi film Into Tomorrow. Stop teasing me.
What? No!
Rumored in development. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
Exciting.
I haven't seen... Oh, it's that I didn't see Birdman and I didn't like The Revenant.
Yeah. I did see Birdman. I enjoyed it as much as I'm obligated to enjoy any movie that tries to be about actors. It's fine, I think, but kind of a little bit pretentious. Which is also fine, but it's just kind of hasn't really stood up for me the test of time.
Okay.
And I also did not like The Revenant. I love Domhnall Gleeson.
Let me rephrase that. I love Domhnall Gleeson in The Revenant. I did not enjoy the rest of The Revenant.
I love Domhnall Gleeson and Will Poulter in Revenant. I think they are great in it.
I forgot Will Poulter's in that movie. That's really funny.
God, he is the thing. And it's just, and he's good. And so is Domhnall Gleeson. He is. I was like, Domhnall, my body. There's also this movie called Broadsword that he is allegedly working on with Christopher McQuarrie. That's a Marine sergeant, crash lands in World War II France. The only survivor of his mission, teams up with a brave local girl as they journey across dangerous landscapes, dodging enemies in a desperate bid to reach Allied territory. Henry Cavill, Tom Cruise, Marianne Cotillard. Could be something.
I
think Kojima needs to get in on this and turn it into a video game. That's all
I'm easy in love of World War II movie, so sure, sign me up.
And then there's another one that's like a detective movie with Christopher McQuarrie. It's so funny.
I think the two of them are just like joined at the hip permanently now, which is nice.
Yes,
I love that for them.
IMDb is also teasing me with a screen cap of this high fucking def picture of the forehead touch, and I am once again asking God and everybody, whoever will listen,
the forehead cut.
Where is the forehead cut?
I am going to get one of those like devotional candles, print that screenshot out, tape it on there, like light a candle, and start like posting pictures of tagging Simon Pegg in them.
It's like, where is it? Look at how big this is on my fucking computer screen.
Be like,
it takes up my entire screen.
No!
Wide.
I did feel like that emotional beat of like Ethan and Benji having a chance to like connect back up, and either Ethan like telling him what happened to Luther or them like having a moment about it was something, and I was like, I feel like this was in there and they cut it and I'm sad.
Yeah, I feel like some kind of thing that is again, I feel like that was why it feels to me like a studio thing of like, it is weird that Luther dies, and they don't ever have a moment where... I mean, they have a moment where they acknowledge it, certainly, where the two of them they're not like, hey...
Well, especially after where their relationship ended up at the end of the last movie, where it was so like, okay, well, the two of us are kind of just gonna have to go avoid detect. We're gonna have to go off the grid together this time. I'm kicking my heels like a teenage girl. Anyway, I'm a mess. But on the other hand, like, this movie is 3 fucking hours long. I can see how, even if you didn't have studio meddling on, like, individual scenes, it was like okay, guys, for the love of God, we cannot have this movie be longer than 3 fucking hours. Like, people will get up to take a shit and not come back.
Yeah.
I can't pretend to understand why Hollywood executives do literally anything, but, like, the only reason The Brutalist got away with being longer than that is that it had a fucking intermission!
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I would watch a 3 hour and 45 minute director's cut of this movie. Chris McQuarrie put it out there. I will buy an expensive DVD. I need it. Also, I hope that they do a fun boxed set of all of Mission Impossible.
Yeah, me too.
I want a boxed set of Mission Impossible DVDs really bad. Yeah, so I don't know. I think we should probably wrap the fuck up.
I think so too.
How are we feeling about this as the if we can say I think this is going to be the last one, and how do we think it stacks up as as the crowning, you know, as the swan song of Mission Impossible? How are we feeling about that?
I'm a little disappointed, but. You know, like, it's not what I would have chosen ultimately for a finale, but, like, I think finales it's hard to stick the landing.
I was gonna say, I think that was good. It was good.
I don't know what I
no
would
matter
have chosen.
What. Yeah,
exactly. Like, I mean, obviously there's things that I would have done differently in terms of, like, get rid of all the fucking flashbacks. But, like, in terms of what they were trying to do, I don't know, like, what a different movie would have looked like in that case, and what has been cut and not cut, etc.
Yeah.
So, like, not my favorite, because, like, my 2 favorites are still Rogue Nation and the first Mission Impossible movie, because I'm that person.
Oh, it's because those are both, I mean, those are my
the best,
favorites,
both really
too.
good.
Those are the best ones.
Thank you, Ezra.
I will say, I really like Fallout.
I do too, and I will say I only have liked Fallout more since I have watched it again.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite when it came out, but yeah.
Yeah, when I first watched it through, people were like, "This is the best one," and I watched it and I was like, "I mean, it's very good. I don't like it better than Rogue Nation, certainly, and I still don't like it better than Rogue Nation."
No,
but
same.
the second or third time I think I watched it, I think maybe with my parents, I was like, "God, it's just so good." Though is like the thing, like the cutting between the cutting between the bomb dismantling fist fight happening with or triple fight happening with Rebecca Ferguson, Simon Pegg, and Sean Harris, and then the gigantic planet Earth IMAX camera filming of the helicopter chase cliffside thing. It was just this is a really impressive filmmaking, I do have to say. It gets me excited.
These movies are just the amount of technical prowess that goes into making these movies, and also not killing anyone while making these movies is just it is just amazing to me. No matter what.
Yeah, but I know what do you guys think personally?
I mean,
overall,
here I'll let Maddie go.
No, it's okay. I as we have stated, I think it was going to be tough to do, kind of no matter what. I think it was a little odd to have it be this 2-parter that they couldn't decide if it was a 2-parter or not based on the naming. I did like the plot. The flashbacks were kind of odd, but also as someone who's not seen the movies in a little bit, it was a little bit Vitamin C's graduation plays. Remember all these times we've had with our friends where I was stressed out and screaming? But yeah, and I think I don't know how they would have done better. It was always going to be a tough gig. I do think this is the last one. I think they've wrapped it up neatly, and I think if they ever came back and they were like, "This is not the last one," I would actually be kind of mad.
Me too.
Or if they were like, "We're bringing back Mission Impossible, and it's not going to be Tom Cruise," I would be like, "Go fuck yourself." actually.
Yeah.
That doesn't really make any... And I can't see them doing that.
I don't
Someone
know,
was like,
man.
oh no, they could. And I was like, they're not going to, because I just...
Not anytime soon, anyway.
Unless he gives them the blessing and is like, and hands the gauntlet over, because like, people underestimate sometimes how much of like Tom Cruise is the auteur, so to speak, driving force behind the movies that he does sometimes.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And it's like, he is ostensibly like, he isn't the director, but he also kind of is like basically controlling parts of this and how they're supposed to go.
He
and
he clearly
functioning
has a
around him.
lot of creative input.
Yeah.
Yes. And so unless he's like personally like picking the Cruise son, as we call them, to inherit, you know, the throne, so to speak, I don't see how they would.
Tom Cruise
do without him.
chooses a successor.
Yeah.
Like quite literally, like the fucking Pope, yeah, because that's what the level of power we're talking about
It
here.
certainly feels like it sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think if
Yeah.
something happened where he did not have control over that, God knows what it would be, but if that did happen, I think he would probably kill them. So
Yeah, I was just like,
Have
oh yeah,
them
it would
killed.
be
Well.
yeah, it would be like the Marvel snipers, but it just would be like whoever got cast would just find Tom Cruise like crawling on their ceiling.
yeah, so
Like, you want to rethink your decision.
I would. If that happened to me,
Me too.
my agent was like, "Hey man, we got you this great gig. They want you to be the next Ethan Hunt." I'd be like, "No."
Like, not unless
did
you're
Tom
so
Union
sure that
Rep,
Tom Cruise is
AKA
dead.
Did Tom
As-
say yes? And they'd be like, "Oh
As
no."
the king spoke to you,
Yeah.
as Cromwell spoke to you, and given you permission.
Yeah, unless I get that offer envelope from directly from Tom Cruise's hand, it's like, no,
I'm not
man,
doing it.
My life is that is more than my
Slammed
life
on
is
my
worth.
door at midnight. After crawling in through my window and
You
me
were-
just, like,
you-
leaving
yeah.
it there.
You were the chosen
Yeah.
successor.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like,
Stamped,
"I'm out."
sealed, delivered.
No, thank you.
I'm yours. Yeah, signed, sealed, delivered. And with like the wax seal,
God.
Yeah,
the impression.
your mission,
Yeah.
if you should choose to accept it, is to be the next
Yeah.
Ethan Hunt.
I mean,
In which case, I
that's-
would
I
say
mean,
yes. But
that's how he would do it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking again about like the obstacle course that Val Kilmer invented for him on
Yeah.
the set of Top Gun because he was trying to get an ice
Yeah.
skater. And how Tom was like, I don't understand your mating rituals, but I will complete this obstacle course, obviously,
because-
because I must.
Yeah, because
And
Tom
he did it.
Cruise is like the human equivalent of a very high energy herding dog.
yeah,
Yes. And that's kind of like how but I think like that rubbed off on him a little bit, and I feel it's like this is how I dream. I dream that kind of energy, that kind of insane energy that Val was bringing to that, rubbed off on him a little bit, and so he would be like, in order to choose my successor, I have to invent this complicated game.
good news for him.
I-
I've watched all the Saw movies, and I love a little puzzle.
Well.
We're doing Squid Games, but it's to gas the next fucking...
I'm literally going to an escape room this weekend, Tom.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh
Um,
man.
Anyway,
Nice.
long and short is, I don't know how I feel about it being the end, but I think it is the end, and that is okay. I'm not having a like, don't be sad it's over, just be glad it happened. And I
Some
really,
things should end.
yeah, I really should
Yeah.
go watch some of the other ones again, because you guys are saying stuff, and I'm like, damn, those movies have all blurred together for me, and I don't remember shit.
Oops. They're fun. I think you will have a good time.
I've watched
if you
one
decide to
multiple
do
times, but that's it. Anyway,
that. Yeah. I'm on the same page. I really do think that this is I hope that this is it. And I agree that I'm like, was this kind of a mess where one of the things I really like about the Mission Impossible movies is that they tend to be very like very tightly put together. Yeah. It made me feel big feelings, and I am not like a rational actor about these movies. So
yeah, I cried a bunch.
I have no fucking clue where else they could have gone with this. Like, I really...
With
a
the
lot
setup of the
times-
previous movie,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And ultimately, I'm like, there were enough good bits. Like, there were enough, like, unironically good bits that I'm, like... I think that it went out on a high note in terms of just the sheer, like, technical achievement of the stunts, specifically, which is a good... I mean... It like all other shit aside, like, nobody is fucking doing it like that. So
yeah, that was crazy.
I did think it was pretty cool that they were just like, no, like, we are gonna do just the most insane shit you've ever seen in your whole fucking life. And also at some point we are gonna have to stop flinging Tom Cruise out of airplanes because, like, the human bodies age.
No matter what he says, we can't keep letting him do this.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, it's been really funny having this become, like, a thing that I spend a lot of fucking time thinking about.
Yeah.
And, like, a fandom that I'm unironically in now, and I'm just like, what happened here?
This is
I
Helena's
really
fault.
don't know.
Yeah,
It is Helena's fault.
When you put the thing in the intro, which is a good segue into me doing the outro as well, about, like, we have no clue how we became Mission Impossible guys, and I was like, well, I know what happened. I wanted to be a completionist for movies that came out in 2023, so I was like, well, in order to watch Dead Reckoning Part 1, other Mission Impossible movies.
Oh.
So I watched all of them in, like, a fucking week, and then I went insane because I was smoking that, like, sweet, like, Tom Cruise movie star, you know, fucking vape pen, and just, like, going insane. And then I was like, guys, you have to watch some of these movies with me because otherwise I'm going to, like, fucking lose it. And you did. You silly people.
That is true, because, like, I definitely had a pre-existing fondness for Mission Impossible.
Why. I just knew that you had suddenly watched all of them, and I was like, well...
Guess what else this is what we're doing now.
Well, she won't shut up about them.
I was like, another Helena behavior. Whatever.
Quite literally.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Ezra.
Oh, no, I was just saying, it's been very funny because, like, I definitely, like, had seen, like, I like, it's not like I had never seen a Mission Impossible movie. Like, I had seen, I think, most of them at some point, but having it be going from something to be like, oh yeah, I've seen those, to being like, I am unironically extremely emotionally invested in the fucking Mission Impossible movies. I just, yeah, it's been really fun. I've been having a good time. So, it's been fun to go on this journey of absolute fucking madness with the two of you.
Yeah.
It's not over. As soon as that shit comes out on streaming, I'm gonna be even worse.
We remember
all the times
we had together.
Wow, we're off. I'm off too.
You're so off.
I'm not gonna add to this problem.
It's me, I think.
Okay, there we go.
I had to explain to a friend the other day what that song was. They were like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like...
This is so fucking crazy. Okay, because I played this song at my, like, that's not retirement party, because I'm not retired, but when I left the bookstore, the last bookstore I worked at, we had a little party, and we set up our thing, and I played that, and they were like, what is this? And I'm like,
they played it at our middle school graduation.
It was the song of the summer. It was like an inside joke in middle school, because every single, at least so in our class, we all had to do video projects in our final year of, like, making a movie, and, like, the inside joke was that all of us used graduation by Vitamin C at some point in the video to, like, this weird, like, you know, and it was like, you know, it was a song that was about graduating by Vitamin C. It's a song that we all knew. And I just assumed that people had a similar experience with this song.
I mean, for a lot of times when I've talked about this with people are like, oh yeah, graduation by Vitamin C, middle school. Like, that has been a touch point for many people, but I guess not everybody, including my friend who went to a Quaker school, so...
Well, I think you need to come and tell my friends in New York about this, because... I was like, fucking losing it. I was like, you cannot tell me that you don't know what this song is.
And that you do not know Graduation by Vitamin C. And you don't have a slightly
humorous but still affectionate and kind of moving relationship with it.
As we go on.
We remember.
All the times we
had together.
Yeah. We will still be friends forever with Mission Impossible.
And they're like, please change this song. And I was like, I'm going to lie on the floor and do a hunger strike until you change your mind about that. Anyway,
I would rather die than turn off Graduation by Vitamin C right now. But thank you.
That part. And I also still haven't watched the Tom Cruise Mummy movie, which I think is the next stupid thing I'm going to do.
Okay, that one is supposed to be like
follow.
Absolutely dog shit.
But consider this: Jake Johnson's in it. That was a thing for me.
Okay, you gotta tell me if it's fun bad, because if it's fun bad, it can get added to the, like, I'm gonna get stoned and watch this list.
Annabelle Wallace from season 1 of Peaky Blinders is in it.
Okay, well,
that's a thing for me.
I enjoy Peaky Blinders, so...
Well, yes, Russell Crowe, obviously, we knew.
Yeah. That sounds like a movie that I'm like...
You guys are scaring
somebody's
me.
gonna be like, why are you doing this? I'm gonna be like, oh no, this is irredeemably dog shit, I'm having a good time, though.
Some things you just need to watch because they're a horny watch. You know, I'm like, Jake Johnson is in this movie, and then, you know, my best friend, my close personal friend, Tom Cruise, is in this film. And so then, like, it's, you know... that's how I justify it. And it's not like, it's like when I got asked like why I was watching Amelia Perez, and I was like,
oh, I remember this.
I have to, like, I don't have to, but like I do kind of. And it's like, the kind of like hand holding from one person who was like, you do know it's dog shit. I was like, of course I know it's going to be dog shit, but I have to know with my own eyes that it's going to be dog shit. Like, obviously, it's not that I don't trust people saying that it's dog shit. I read a lot of opinions and a lot of articles from people that I trust being like, this movie's dog shit and here's why. But I also, I need to be able to witness this with my own two eyes. I don't feel that way about Dark Tower so much.
I did that one for us.
You did that one for me personally.
Yeah.
The Mummy, I'm like, yeah, I could sit through that. Like, I could sit through 110 minutes of a bad Mummy movie for Tom Cruise and Jake Johnson. Like, I could do that. That's something that I personally can do. And I don't, it's fine. Like, I know that people are like, they worry about me sometimes because I'm choosing to spend my time watching movies which I know are going to be bad for me. But it's a choice that I am happy to make. I'm happy. This movie has a 1.9 rating on Letterboxd. I'm happy to spend my time.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's quite bad. And, I mean, my friend's average rating is even lower, so, like, what does that tell you? You know what I mean?
I mean, one of my all-time favorite movies has a 19% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, so...
Well, that doesn't mean anything. That site's silly. Anyway.
All right. Well, now that we have aired our madness and in service of everybody getting to turn their fucking fans back on, so we don't all melt.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to take us out?
You want to take us out, Helena?
I can take us out.
Okay.
Hey, guess what? Thanks for hanging out with us here on Staple at the Movies. Gotcha. From the Infinity Break Network. Check out infinitybreak.net for more awesome content and come chat with us on the Infinity Break Discord. You can find it at bit.ly/I Infinity T Talks. You can also shoot us an email at smeeple@themovies@gmail.com. If you've got a subject you want to hear us talk about, a movie you think we absolutely need to see, or have a recipe for a Mission Impossible themed cocktail to share. Sorry, I'm just reading that joke now. Our Oscar music was done by Johnny Ronaldo, who you can find hanging out on our Discord, or streaming on Thursdays at twitch.tv/InfinityBreakGaming. Our glorious Technicolor TM logo was designed by Bethany Luthold. If you enjoyed listening, please leave us a review on iTunes and share the show with your friends, your enemies, and your partners in crime, and those guys that you touch foreheads with so homoerotically that it gets cut from the final cut of the film. As always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you at the movies.
Yeah, I cut those moments out of Sneeple, too.
Oh, damn, people are getting, like, the less homoerotic version of Sneeple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. It's hard to imagine.
It's because I hate our listeners. Okay, good.